All right, ladies and gentlemen, we watched it. We saw it. The biggest movie of the year, and we got to see it. Nightmare Alley with Bradley Cooper.
I was thinking of a stupid movie.
Yeah, honestly. Welcome back to the Junk Monkeys podcast. I'm Randy McLeod, your host for tonight. On my immediate left, I got my brother Noah Garbett.
We're not related.
And I got my other brother, Bradley Gertzen.
Also not related.
Allegedly.
Guys, I need something. Come on.
We don't have Jordan on here yet.
Yeah, you're right. One day. We are going to be talking about Spider-Man No Way Home, the biggest fucking movie of the year, guys. Oh, my Lord. Anyway, just a few things get out of the way. This is going to be a spoiler review. I don't think we're going to do the non-spoiler for like 5 minutes. I don't think so. We got to talk about it. So you have been very warned. Do not watch or listen to this until you have seen the movie. However, spoilers are everywhere. So like you've probably seen some pretty big spoilers, but just as a big heads up, if you want our like in-depth spoiler talk discussions and our thoughts about where the MCU could go from here, stop the podcast, pull over if you're listening in your car, go on your phone and be like, hey yo, beep 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 beep, hey yo, movie theater, guess what, boys? I need a ticket to No Way Home. Oh, what? You're only doing 50% seating now? That sucks. But I'll be there. Put me down for 4, and you go to Spider-Man with 3 of your friends.
Or by yourself and just have that extra leg room. Like, it's cold out. You might have a jacket.
Yeah.
You don't want to carry that on your lap or anything.
That's true.
You have another seat for your popcorn.
Mm-hmm.
And then you just got, like, that buffer.
Hey,
you know?
two cup holders?
Keep people away from you.
Two cup holders?
I could have 2 drinks?
I could have my Skittles in one and my drink in the other?
Oh, my God.
Crazy.
Trying to steal my goddamn Skittles.
Dude, I was that entire movie.
Brad, you okay. Okay, we're gonna get into spoiler talk right now, so please, you have been warned. Brad, I wanna attack you. You left before I did in the movie theater, and I noticed that there was a bag of popcorn and a drink lying there. Respect the theater, bro.
You're right. No, you're right.
Dude.
Listen, man, they're struggling, okay?
I walked out, and there was like 6 of them with brooms in hand, and one of them goes, it's a fucking mess in there. And I'm like, and I saw it firsthand. I saw popcorn everywhere. People were just throwing shit willy-nilly. I hate it.
We were up on like some of the back rows, so like we got to go down the stairs, look down every aisle.
It was pretty messed
and
up.
See the
Disgusting
atrocity.
To be fair, I did roll down to the garbage bins. Like I was sitting there, I looked back at it, and then all the boys were kind of moving, and then I looked, and like all of the garbage cans were overfilling.
Don't matter, man. You find a different garbage.
Still,
And I was like,
that's like one spot that they have to clean, as opposed to having to walk up the stairs.
You're true.
Also, Brad, I picked up your stuff, by the way.
Did you?
I picked them up, and I shoved them in the garbage can, because it's all you gotta do is just shove it down. So,
Now,
Brad,
the saving grace of Brad,
please.
he spilled his popcorn within the first like half
Dude,
hour.
I literally sat
Did you
down.
actually?
I sat down, didn't even get past, like, I literally sat down, adjusted my seat, and just knocked it over my foot. And just all over the plate, like, fuck, man.
Did you get large?
I had whatever came with the combo number 2.
Combo number 2. Oh, that's me. Okay.
I didn't eat all the popcorn either because we had
I had a small, and usually I can take down a small, but I just didn't like it this time. Like, the theater popcorn kind of let me down, but...
Mike and I split a combo 4,
Yeah.
which gets you like large everything.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure I still have the pop sitting on my desk at home. And this was like
You brought the pop with you?
back home.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was still full.
That's fair.
Damn.
Did you put ice in it?
I did, yeah.
So
that's-
I
that's
drank
kinda
more
what
of your
I
pop
kinda
than you
wanted
did,
to do.
probably.
Probably. With your fucking coughing fit.
You randomly died in the middle of
Oh,
the
that was
movie.
you.
Yeah.
That was him.
I was wondering.
It was like a quiet scene in the movie. I can't remember exactly what scene it was because I was so preoccupied with Brad dying beside me.
Brad, you good?
I don't even know what happened. I wasn't eating anything at some point. Just keeled over and died. I was trying to be so quiet, too.
Oh, it
Fuck
was
this movie.
painful to listen to.
Oh.
It's like trying to you're like midway coughing,
Yeah.
and then you just
Yeah, you're trying to hold it down, but it's coming through.
he reaches for his drink, except you already finished it halfway through. That's another psychotic trait we're gonna talk about. So then you reach over for mine
Wait,
across
what?
my lap.
Yeah, I finished my large like right away. It was gone.
What?
I don't know. Just happened.
I didn't even finish my Coke. Like, I had a medium Coke, and that's pretty
I
good.
didn't finish anything. I had a bag of Skittles that I didn't finish.
Yeah,
I
you
didn't,
finished
I
that the
didn't,
next
I didn't
day.
even put
I
ice
did.
in mine.
That was painful.
Yeah.
That makes me feel worse about it.
Anyway, we've been... we said the spoiler tag, and then we didn't talk about the movie the entire time.
Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield are in it.
Wait, whoa, spoil... No. Yeah, I fucking loved this movie. This will be like a spoiler cast / review. Like, my initial thoughts is like, I loved this movie. It delivered on so many emotional moments, And as someone who hasn't, like, I've been rewatching the Spider-Man movies to preemptively to, like, get myself ready for this movie, and just in case, like, the boys Andrew and the boy Toby showed up, just to get ready. So I've been watching them. They're not great movies. There's been a lot of stinkers.
Stinky.
But somehow this movie, like, made up for the fact that, like, it had baggage, right? This movie had a baggage that it had to deal with. But it does so in such satisfying and hype-inducing ways. And that's all I ask in a Marvel movie, is that you give me something hype. And this movie fucking delivered.
There's several scenes where the whole theater clapped, for sure.
Yeah.
3.
3 separate times.
3 separate times.
The third one didn't feel as impactful, but, like, at the same time, I was like, yeah.
It depends how invested you are.
Yeah.
In Andrew Garfield. And his...
I'm not even invested, and even I was like, good for you, man. You did it. Brad, what did you think of the movie?
I love the movie. The movie was great. I have so many good moments, like Andrew Garfield saving his MJ in quotation marks, and obviously the reveal of Andrew Garfield and Toby were just hilarious.
Oh, so good.
So funny and so well put out. And I think by far my favorite was just how they handled the dynamic between 3 different Spider-Mans. They made it just so well made together, and they all acted it out really well as, like, all being Spider-Man and Peter Parker, and I just really liked how the dynamic worked. Yeah, throughout the movie, for sure.
They managed to keep all 3 of them all being Spider-Man, but all also being
their
separate.
Spider-Man,
unique. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you liked it?
Oh, loved it. Great movie.
Awesome.
Had me hyped.
The entire time?
Most of the time.
Yeah.
I think there was, like, a little slow part, I think.
I think the beginning was a little slow.
Yeah, for sure, but then it was, like, ramped up.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, word. Like, I could say that him hunting all of the interdimensionals, like, was a little bit stale for some of it.
Me too.
But
I felt that too.
Yeah, for sure, like, a little bit, but then it just ramped up so fast.
What's crazy, though, is that, like, that's not really long in the movie. Because, like, this movie moves.
It's
like,
2.5 hour movie.
Hey, yo, we got to move to the next thing. And, like, it does not feel like 2.5 hours.
No, not at all.
Yeah. No, what'd you think of the movie?
I hated it.
Ah, that's
every
crazy.
second of it.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
I figured.
fucking cut your mic.
I figured everybody likes it so
Mute.
much, so, like, we needed a controversial opinion.
Yeah.
I didn't like it.
Yeah, definitely. This will get us views.
Yeah.
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 Noah Garbett hated Spider-Man No Way Home.
People scrolling through YouTube. Who the fuck is Noah Garbett?
Yeah.
I'd click
no,
on that so
I'm
fast.
gonna send him death threats.
Plug your email.
Yeah.
It's pretty simple. NoahGarbett@gmail.com. I'm gonna get signed up for so much shit.
Nah, don't worry about it.
Yeah, I know nobody watches these.
Yeah.
The movie was awesome. It. I didn't rewatch any of the Spider-Man movies leading up to it, but, like, Spider-Man movies have always just been like a comfort movie.
Yeah, they're always there.
They're always there. Growing up with them, like, when you first saw them, they were awesome. It didn't matter if you liked the movie or not.
Spider-Man.
They were always, like, they were always appropriate for your age.
Yep. Totally.
And it's just something you kind of grew with. So you grew with the actors, you grew with the characters, and then getting to see them all come in when Marvel is such a huge thing.
Yeah.
It's just it's got, like, that nostalgic feel. You get to see them on screen again because you don't see Tobey Maguire and you don't see Andrew Garfield in a lot of movies.
Yeah.
Not a lot of big movies.
Not really, no.
So getting to see them in what Marvel is now is just refreshing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's somebody I was listening to, like, the Kind of Funny podcast talk about it, and they were like, this movie's cathartic. Like, it, like, helped me deal with, like, it helped tie up so many things from those other movies, and, like, some of those movies got messy. Like, Spider-Man 3 got messy. Yeah. Amazing Spider-Man 2, dog shit. Like, but this movie just, like, made it redeemed those characters so hard. Like, even though they had shitty outings, like,
for sure.
Tobey Maguire didn't have a great outing in Spider-Man 3 because he was doing the fucking get on up, like the dance.
How dare you?
Amazing Spider-Man 2, my man lost MJ, or no, sorry, he lost Gwen, and, like,
it just ended on him being depressed.
Yeah, well, he saved the kid from Rhino, but, like, yeah.
Still.
Yeah, I just can't believe how well they somehow managed to stick this movie. Get it, Spider-Man.
And they managed to tie it all up in such a short runtime for each, like, Spider-Man. Like, there was only the 3 Spider-Mans in it for, like, what, an hour?
Maybe less
hour
half
and a
hour.
half? Yeah, like it wasn't that long.
Yeah.
And they managed to tie all of their stories up in one go that seemed like cohesive and not like just scrambly, like, oh, I want to fix this.
And they threw in so many fan servicey things that if anybody else did it, it would just be like, come on, like you're pandering at this point. Like if Star Wars brought back like, I don't know, what's something important in Star Wars that they brought back and you were just like, come on. Oh, Emperor Palpatine. Yeah. They brought him back. Spoilers for anyway.
Just don't watch it.
Yeah, don't watch
it.
But yeah, in something like that, it's lesser. It's not like earned or deserved at all. This movie, everybody's rooting for that to happen.
And I think that plays into them doing it as like a different dimensional like timeline collapsing. It's not like all of a sudden fucking Andrew Garfield was in here or whatever.
Yeah,
right?
it turns out he was here the whole time.
It turns out there's 3 Spider-Mans. What are you doing?
Yeah,
I mean, technically he was, wasn't he?
No.
Technically all 3 of them were in...
Oh, yes, sorry.
Yeah.
But like Brad saying, like if there was no dimensional fuck up, then it would be weird if they all just randomly showed up.
Yeah, for sure. Which would never happen in a Marvel movie. They obviously would never do that. But the fact they had the key to be able to interdimensional, like all these people show up, makes it seem not like a gimmick or like a money grab. It makes sense.
It was the theme.
Yeah, well, it makes 100% sense that would happen.
I kind of liked... Yeah, I was a little worried for this movie because I was like, in the trailers, I was like, at least the first trailer, it was like, oh, everybody's going to forget that you're Peter Parker or whatever. I'm like, that's dumb. Like, why wouldn't Peter just like, the way they framed it in the trailer, it just seemed like everyone was going to forget that he was Spider-Man. They weren't going to forget that they had time, like they had spent memories and had memories with Spider-Man.
I had issues with this exact same thing. With it being so like just a clean cut. Everybody's going to forget about you. Okay, but what about pictures? What about videos? What about my whole like high school transcript? SIN numbers, government ID, all this stuff. But and like you can chalk that up to like, oh, magic will just fix it all. It's like that's almost seems like a cop out.
Yeah.
Like it's such a...
But at that point, like...
Obviously, you can't get into those details.
No. And I'm sure they will clear that up at some point in some funny joke in the next Spider-Man movie where it's like, Peter Parker, you don't exist, or whatever. It's like, shit.
Yeah.
You know?
But... I don't know. It makes me feel like I want to know the nitty-gritty details.
Yeah.
Exactly, but they're not going to bring that up in the movie.
No,
I think. Well, to be fair though, like in Endgame we had that, or Infinity War and Endgame, we kind of had those questions where it's like, fuck, people got snapped back into existence. Like, how does that work? You know, like if they were in an airplane, did they fall out of the airplane or whatever?
Yeah.
And they kind of play it for a joke in Spider-Man: Far From Home, where like everybody can snap back and like during a basketball game, and everybody's like, whoa, shit, you know.
Or Wong being Sorcerer Supreme because. Steven got blipped.
Yeah, over the next few movies, they do start to clarify those little nitty-gritties.
They sprinkle it in.
Yeah, which I kind of like. I don't like... I think it's better for us to, like, percolate and think about the ideas. I'm like, oh, what would happen if, like, this happened or whatever? And then they can also realize, like, what they're going to do with it and, like, fix whatever they might have plot holed.
Well, they bring up those plot holes in like pretty much every Marvel movie coming up after. Like even like Shang-Chi, they brought it up. It was like, when half the population can disappear for 5 years.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I guess so. They make it, I don't know, they do it well.
Yeah. Well, and the thing with Marvel being so popular is like people are going to find all these plot holes and they're going to talk about them, and people who work on these movies are going to see them, they're going to bring them up, and they're going to be like, hey, people are talking about this, and we'll be like, okay, well, how do we fix this? What's a quick little Band-Aid?
Big bitty boppity boo, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Brad, what was a hype-inducing moment for you?
Andrew Garfield reveal.
Yeah?
Absolutely. That had me hyped up.
Did you know right when you saw like the Spider-Man in the alley?
No, honestly, that's why it got me so gassed up. Cause, like I honestly didn't even watch trailers for this movie. Like I was full blind. I'm rolling in. I was like, I remember hearing something about Andrew Garfield and them both being in there. And then he rolls in, and he takes off the mask. I'm like, yo.
Yeah, no, when I saw like, you see like Spider-Man in an alley, and I'm like, that fucker's got the bug eyes. Like he doesn't have the reactive eyes that Tom Holland does.
Yeah,
he's got like the bug eyes, and he's also just taller and like a different physique. And I'm like, hang on,
wait a minute.
And then he comes in, and everybody's like, no,
the theater
way.
Fucking exploded.
It's when he took off his mask, and everybody was just like, whoa, and like just clapping and like
just
cheering.
For me, it was when he was runring to the portal.
Yeah,
like you were kind of tipped off with just like the way that Andrew Garfield is shaped.
He's a tall, lanky dude.
Yeah, and then like as he's running towards the portal, he's like, oh, he's gonna like jump through the portal, and then just like he's still running, getting taller, and then he jumps through the portal. I'm gonna say, as soon as Ned said find Spider-Man, I knew immediately then like this is where they're coming in.
Yeah, I think that could have been a little cleaner or like a little better, like the whole Ned being like find Peter Parker, and like it was a little cheesy.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think the emotion and the hype of the entire thing really washed over me and made me like not want to criticize it because it's just so exciting.
It makes sense that it would happen. Like, it's not like it was like so gimmicky that I was like, oh, that would never actually happen. Like, it makes sense that like when you say find Peter Parker, you're gonna find a random Peter Parker.
Yeah, totally.
But I don't know. I like how they did it somewhat. I feel like they could have done a better way, but I can't think of a better way.
No,
I think it would have been funny because like Ned was still like figuring out the whole portals things. What if he had like a quick little portal that showed like Andrew Garfield like super close to the portal, just being like what, and then it immediately fizzled out, and then they were like no, do that again, we almost had him, and fizzle, and then you just pops between like Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, Tom Holland until it gets one, and it's like come on Peter, and then you see Andrew Garfield like running through the portal and everything, and it's like wait,
Marvel, hire this man. You know what I mean?
No, I definitely.
But that wouldn't have worked because Tobey Maguire wasn't wearing his mask.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
I'm also weirdly excited to see the story arc of Ned being magic, if that actually plays out.
Yeah, well, that's where it gets weird too, because like, does he remember using magic, or does
I don't think he would.
I think he would.
But I would.
Why wouldn't he?
I think he would. I think he understands that he was a part of a battle at the Statue of Liberty with Spider-Man.
Yeah, I bet
but he doesn't know that Spider-Man was his.
They can still know who Spider-Man is.
Yes,
they will know who Spider-Man is. Obviously.
Yeah.
I wonder if Doctor Strange though, like, because Doctor Strange definitely saw him and hit him with the eyeball.
Yeah, he did.
You made a portal.
Hey, you made a portal?
Yeah.
I loved Ned as magic, and especially when he got the robe and shit. Like, I loved it. I popped off so hard for that.
That was great.
We haven't even talked about the villains, guys. I think Green Goblin is genuinely one of the fucking best villains I've seen in the MCU.
He is a great villain, and he's played so well.
Willem Dafoe fucking crushes it.
Nailed it.
And like, I think he really carries all 5 of the villains. Because like,
I like Jamie Foxx.
I liked him too, but for some reason I didn't love his like, I feel weird, I'm going to turn bad right now because I don't want to do this.
The energy in this area is different.
He seemed like he was always bouncing off both sides of the spectrum.
Like electricity, though, Yeah. Like between power lines.
He was like, oh, yeah, no, this will help. And then, like, the next second he'd be like, man, I like the energy here.
Yeah. Yeah, he very much was like, I'm going to help you, kid, or whatever. But, like, and then it wasn't.
But then again, when he was on the wall, the Green Goblin was like, hey, yo, come fuck some shit up. And that's when he took it off. He was like, all right, let's get it going.
Yeah, he was always on the fence. And you could almost tell that he was going to... It was
kind of obvious
that he was gonna.
I think like out of the 5 villains, Sandman and Lizard were pretty like disposable to be honest.
Yeah.
But I mean, honestly, you have a runtime and you want to get in like the cool stuff.
They had to get a lot of characters that a lot of people wouldn't have known about.
Let's focus on the characters that everybody actually likes and the characters that actually will contribute something to the plot. Because Sandman's not going to do much for the plot.
No,
Sandman's not going to do much.
I mean, I liked him in the movie though. Like, I thought he was good.
They reused old footage for him.
Yes.
And I picked up on that immediately.
I did.
I
was like, whoa, man, that guy looks like exactly like he did in Spider-Man 3.
And I was really surprised by that because you did rewatch them before you saw this movie. As soon as I saw him as like the head of the Statue of Liberty, I immediately knew like I remember this exact scene from the other movie.
I will say, what was I thinking of? The fight scene between Electro and Sandman, crazy cool. I was like, actually a moment where I sat back. I was like, that's a dope visual right now.
Oh, when Spider-Man or Sandman's like whirlwinding it up,
it up, and like Spider-Man's trying to like pulling down the things, like pulling down the power lines. Honestly, I sat back in that moment, like, this is fucking beautiful.
It was pretty cool.
It was like a really good CGI moment.
I thought it was that was the part of the movie though where like it was that intermittent. Like, I loved the fact that I realized, like, oh shit, this is turning into like an interdimensional Pokemon game or like movie, where it's like we gotta go catch them all, bro. And like you have this one-shot thing where you can just fucking lasso them back to the cage. And I was like, that is really cool. But then they kind of just like zoom through it.
Yeah.
They're like, we got them all. I'm like, okay, yeah, I guess you got a lot more stuff to do.
So is this a wizard tree or something?
They got all of them, spent their time on Doc Ock, which I'm glad.
Me too.
He was amazing.
I loved that scene. I loved the scene on the bridge, especially
really
with the imagery of like going under the bridge.
Yeah, going under
like,
the bridge.
so cool.
Nobody ever thinks that.
The nanotechnology going into his suit, and then he just gets Bluetooth control over it.
Yeah, that was dope.
I feel like that was kind of like another
like,
little bit of
thing.
Very good convenience.
I really loved how like it showed like, all right, Peter Parker, I'm gonna kill you, whatever. And he puts the needle out and he shoves it against his chest, and then the needle just crumples. I'm like, damn, nanotech is just tough.
Nanotech is fucking crazy.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, they spent a wonderful amount of time with Doc Ock. Glossed over Lizard. I don't remember.
I don't care.
I guess Doctor Strange just had him in there.
Yeah, we didn't even see him get caught.
He was a really good butt of the joke for that whole cage scene.
Like,
he just tried to turn everyone into lizards.
He was a very good. Let's just drop this guy over here, and people are just gonna know that he's gonna mess stuff up.
Yeah. I want to give everybody a makeover.
Yeah.
You're gonna turn us all into lizards? Precisely.
The dinosaur can talk.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
I love the intro for the Sandman Electro fight.
Yeah.
Because you got all the visuals, you got the sparks flying, you got the little sand shadows kind of like fizzling around the place.
Yeah.
And then you have a very long time with Green Goblin.
So good.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? Like, you're spending time with the characters that actually matter. And, like, Electro matters, but, like, not really, in my opinion. Like, Amazing Spider-Man 2, everyone's like, I love Jamie Foxx, but I don't love what they did with him in Amazing Spider-Man 2.
They did an amazing job with him in this.
I liked him a lot in this more. Yeah. Like, I thought he was a lot better.
They had the nice little homage to, like, his old Electro uniform in the comic books and everything.
Yeah.
Whenever he did, like, the electricity blast.
He got that little, like, crown thing. It's so cool. But yeah, like you were saying with Willem Dafoe, right? Like, with Green Goblin, they really focus on him. And I think they did something so fucking brilliant where he's like, they don't just show him as the maniacal, like, I'm the bad guy, you know? Like, they show his alter ego and they show him being like, dude, what the fuck is happening? Like,
it added layers to all of the villains. Because just seeing him in there in essentially what's a soup kitchen.
Yeah.
You don't just see him as like a black and white bad guy. It's this guy who is suffering.
Yeah, like immensely. Like, it gives him a lot of personality.
Something. Yeah. And it's not so much like, oh, we got to get rid of them. It's like, no, like,
it showed the humanity of the people that they were trying to like send back to their deaths.
Yeah.
Although not all of them were going back to their deaths. Like, Lizard in Amazing Spider-Man 1 got cured. And then who else survived? Sandman also survived. But they kind of gloss over. They kind of say like he just wants to go home and like he wants to see his daughter or whatever.
Yeah.
I feel like Sandman was very not on the same scale as Electro, being like bouncing off both ends of the spectrum. He was very like super helpful to Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And then like as soon as he found out he wasn't his Peter Parker, he was like, I don't trust you.
Yeah.
And was immediately against him. Like, it was such a quick slide.
Yeah, he was until Peter was like, hey, I'm going to help you guys get home. And then he was like, all right, fine, I'll be with you for a
It's
second.
like he just completely lost faith as soon as everything went apeshit.
Yeah, yeah. Especially, well, I mean, if you're in the wrong dimension and you see somebody you think is somebody else, and then they seemingly murder a guy, like Electro. Like, he sends Electro away, and he's like, what the fuck? What'd you do to that guy? Are you going to do that to me? You know?
Well, but it wasn't even that. Like, even after he breaks them all out of the containment cells and takes them back to Happy's place, Sandman still, it seems super helpful.
Yeah,
he
totally.
seems super chill and everything.
Yeah.
But as soon as Green Goblin blows up the place, he's like, fuck this, I'm out, and fuck you when I see you again.
Can we talk about the hand-to-hand combat scene with Green Goblin and Spider-Man?
I wanted to get that. That is one of the most epic hype moment, like, fight scenes I've ever seen in the MCU.
So sick, man.
Like, fucking fighting through the apartment where he fucking like pile drives him through multiple floors and like
so dope.
Green Goblin, I guess I forgot, but like Green Goblin has super strength.
Yeah.
Because like he's kicking Peter across the fucking room and like down the hallway, pile driving him through multiple floors. Like That was one of the best fight scenes I've seen in a long time.
And it was so fun because you got to see, like, right before was, like, this frail, like, mentally broken man into him just pile driving Peter Parker through fucking 8 floors.
Well, you just never expect Green Goblin to have super strength because he's always flying around on the hoverboard.
Yeah.
You always think that he's going to be, like, he's going to stay his distance
like
and
a
throw
rogue.
bombs and everything.
Totally.
But he is just as deadly up close.
Scary. Like, especially the part where, like, before he's, like, throwing Peter through floors and shit like that, like, there's a part where Peter's putting the beat down on his face, and he's just smiling, and he's just laughing.
Yeah.
And it's just like, holy shit, dude. Like, you're terrifying.
Yeah, because that was right before he pile drived him, right? He was in with the punches. He just picked him up off his head and just bop.
Oh, my God.
So dope.
So good. And, like, so we get to the bottom floor, and we get to the bottom floor, and Peter's, like, fucking up Green Goblin, and May is trying to get out of there with the serum to cure Green Goblin. And then
with the serum.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
Because he made it.
Oh, that's right. Sorry. That makes sense. He didn't want to be cured. But yeah, May gets hit by the glider. And that was a violent thing.
Mac the fuck out of her.
And I'm pretty sure that's what cut her.
Oh, for
like,
sure.
real bad.
Because he was like,
Okay,
you'll
cool.
thank me for this.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I wouldn't thank you for killing May, but...
was a roller coaster.
Oh my God.
Because like you see her with the serum, you obviously know it's not going to work.
Yeah.
Because it's still so
Too easy.
It's too easy, too early in the movie. Hits him with it, and he's like, "Oh, it doesn't work." And we're just like, "Obviously, we know." You see the glider, you get the camera angle of the glider, just on the other side of the glass. Aunt May obviously doesn't see it. You know immediately she's gonna
get fucked up.
Up by this thing. And sure enough, she gets fucked up by
She gets ragdolled aside. Yeah. Like, violent.
And then there's an explosion on top of it, and you're just like, she has to be dead.
Yeah.
Like, there's not a chance in the world.
But Peter
Green
Parker
Goblin
saved
fucks
her
off. Peter Parker gets up and is, like, with her, and you're thinking he's going to die. She's going to die in his arms.
Yeah.
But that doesn't happen.
No.
They get up. They start walking. They start talking. They're going through all this.
Yeah.
And then she starts dying.
Yeah.
And you're like, why? We thought you were gonna make it,
dude.
Yeah,
like
there was a shred of hope that it's like,
yeah,
oh, it's not
because they wanted to just fucking like stab you and twist the knife, man.
Yeah, you're just like, it's not gonna be like the other Spider-Man. Like Tom Holland's the better Spider-Man. Yeah. He's not gonna let his Aunt May die.
Yeah. Well, and that's what I'm saying though. Like in that scene, she gets up. And I was like, first of all, that bomb was quite close. Y'all look perfectly fine for getting blown up or whatever.
Peter Parker has super strength. He's got a reason to survive.
Yeah, you don't. But she gets up, and I was like, oh, thank God. And she's talking normally. Yes. But she's shell-shocked, obviously, and they're both shell-shocked. And they're both exhausted.
They're still stumbling, but they're still walking.
And then she delivers the line, and she does it in a different way than like the regular, like, with great power comes great responsibility.
And that's what
kind of solidified it for you. Yeah. I didn't. I thought that was like, hey man, that's powerful. You know what? They made Aunt May Uncle Ben in this, and that's great.
Yeah.
And then she's just like, let me just catch my breath.
As soon as she said, let me catch my breath, I like the cloth was taken off my eyes, and I was like, God. No.
Oh, I don't think I've cried that hard in a long time. Like,
just sobbing.
And I wasn't expecting that, man, because like,
she had been through so much.
Yeah. But, like, Aunt May is the comedic joke in, like, the first two movies where it's like, oh, she's got a hot aunt, you know? But, like, she was also super helpful to Peter in the first two movies. But, like, at the same time, it's like, oh, it's Aunt May, you know? Like, she's getting free food in Spider-Man Homecoming because she's hot or whatever, right? But we get to this movie, and we see so much humanity in her. And, like, her thing that she very much, like, hands off to Peter. Like, if you help one person, you help many people.
Yeah.
Like...
well, and she just has that complex too. Like she works at a soup kitchen.
Yeah, totally. And she like practices what she preaches. And
even her like that scene where she was sitting down with Green Goblin.
Yeah, and she's like, "Hey man, I don't know what's going on with him, but
like
he's struggling."
He's going like you need to help him out.
Well, and even in not Homecoming, the other one,
Far From Home. Yeah, she's at that banquet or whatever.
She's at the banquet, but she's working in the kitchen. Yeah, with. She's getting clean and everything.
I think that was for the Salvation Army in that movie, and like she's like getting a check for it, and like she's helping people.
Yeah,
and I think that's fantastic because like it really impresses upon Peter, like, hey man, like you got to help everyone, and you're not gonna save everybody, but if you help one person, you help the many. And I think that was on her tombstone at the end. But like, that message really hit home because like he needed help. He's up against 5 different baddies.
Yeah.
Like he needs help. He needs to ask for help, and he got the help from Toby and from Andrew.
From Spider-Man.
That was so emotionally impactful for me. And like Tom Holland can sell a cry.
Dude, he's really good. Like I always see him as a happy-go-lucky guy.
Oh my god.
But like when he gets sad, or like even his scene when he's beating the fuck out of Green Goblin, like there's so much emotion that he puts on his face throughout it. And it's so impressive.
Totally.
Because he's a child.
Yeah, but like he's a really good child. Like he's a really great actor.
He's the best of
has
childs.
me worried for Nathan Drake.
Oh, I don't think that movie's gonna be good. No, they got Mark Wahlberg as Sully. It's not gonna be good.
But also, like Tom Holland, great Spider-Man. Tom Holland as Nathan Drake.
Don't need it. No,
that's difficult.
No, we could skip
It's
that
difficult
one,
to make Tom look serious in not a deadly way.
It's weird to see him outside of Spider-Man. To be honest with you, like every time I see him outside of Spider-Man, I'm just like, you're still a kid, bro.
Yeah, that's gonna be the next evolution for his career, though, right? Like I can't wait to see him in other movies.
Yeah,
like maybe more serious, like one that really shows his like acting through the emotion and everything like that.
Totally.
More so.
I can't wait to see Tom Holland as Spider-Man and Venom.
Ooh.
So I have something to talk about.
Okay.
About that.
Okay.
But we'll get to that in a second because I just want to get through like, he's mourning or whatever, and like, he's up on the rooftop. And he's just sitting there, like on the top of the school.
That was so sad.
It's so sad because like they just like they hold that moment where like his friends just hug him, and he's just like he's struggling, but like he has support there, right? And then the other support comes in, and they're like, hey,
still so on edge.
Yeah, because he's like, at any moment somebody could fuck up these other people, like my friends.
Yeah, well, when the scene with Tom Holland on the roof came up. Like, even just the scene of him, like, looking at him in the roof before his friends even come up. Yeah. There's, like, a really wash of emotion over, like, me when I was watching it. Like, just seeing his, like, everything. From the way he was sitting, from his facial expressions. I was just, like...
The fact that, like, I don't know how they did this, but, like, they kept one of his eyes bloodshot for the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
And I'm like, did you burst a blood vessel? Or did they add this?
I feel like that's contact or something.
Maybe. But, like, that was really effective because it just showed, like, oh, man, this guy, like, went through it.
Up.
Yeah.
He's been beaten up several times.
When he was on the roof by himself, you could still see him flinch, and then, like, his body would relax when he saw that it was just his friends.
Yeah.
Like, he was still shell-shocked, on edge. He didn't know what to do next.
Totally.
He was lost.
But even Tom Holland as an actor, when they came and hugged him, like his completely changed his mannerism again, and his acting was like completely relaxed, and like you could tell it was like
he let down some of his
and
defenses
on edge walls. Yeah.
That really fucking twists the knife later in the end of the movie, where like his friends are gonna forget him, and like that hurt me so hard because I was like, he's doing the final handshake with Ned. The thing that we've seen 4 times throughout the movies.
Which is a deadly handshake.
So dope.
So sick.
And I love that they commit to it every time. And like, it hurt seeing him like having to lose Ned and having to lose MJ, but not like they're not dead. That's typically the thing where like if you want to retire a character, and like he's not retired, but like if you want to like make an impactful and emotionally impactful thing, they have to die. That's the thing they did with Iron Man. That's the thing they thankfully didn't do with Cap. But like, typically like the end of a hero's journey is death. But that's not what they did with this movie, and I really, really like it. I really, really like that we're back to square one, kind of, with, like, there's so many new possibilities that we can find with Tom Holland Spider-Man. Like, what's he going to do? Is he going to become friends with his friends again, or is he going to realize that he's going to fuck up their lives if he does?
Well, and one of the things that's different with the Tom Holland, Peter Parker, everybody forgets who Peter Parker is, but everybody remembers who Spider-Man is.
Yeah.
Is that with previous characters like Iron Man and Captain America, eventually Captain America and Steve Rogers just become synonymous. Iron Man and Tony Stark become synonymous.
Yeah.
So like it's not Iron Man dying, it's Tony Stark dying.
Yeah.
But now Peter Parker can't die because there's nobody to really remember or mourn him.
Yeah.
So it would be Spider-Man dying.
Like there would be no Peter Parker dying because Peter Parker isn't a person because no one remembers Peter Parker.
Yeah. That was a really emotional thing too, where like I realized after May died, I was like, he's got no one left. Like he's got his friends and that's
happy.
He did have happy.
His friends.
But like he's got no family left. You know what I mean? And like that
had his lawyer.
does have his lawyer. We haven't talked about that yet, but like that's only a me thing. Like
that's
nobody else has
super
seen
small.
Daredevil, but like goddamn, I loved it. I loved every 4 seconds of it. I know you don't like
I
it.
wasn't a fan of it.
I know, but like I loved it. It was exactly what I wanted. What else did I want to get to? Oh, okay. Is there anything in the final like Statue of Liberty scene that you guys want to talk about? Like just an avalanche of fantastic moments, right?
For sure.
Yeah.
I would say when they all started swinging together and then
Oh.
they grappled onto the double grapple, like swung
Yeah.
them underneath. That
Swinging
was
on
that
each
was-
other
that's
and
what
like,
I put.
oh.
Little tribute to that.
So
That was
dope.
sick.
I loved when they jumped out and they were all like, "Woo!" You know, like everybody did
Yeah.
their respective like, "Woo!" or
Everybody
whatever.
did their poses and everything.
Yeah.
Also, their broing out moments before
Yeah.
the actual fight might have been. It was so nice because you just went through this entire emotional roller coaster of Aunt May dying
Yeah.
and them doing all this like planning and like the pre-fight scenes, and then you just get
The-
to chill out for 10 minutes
The
and just
science lab?
enjoy.
The
Yeah, the science lab
labs?
was fantastic
Yeah.
because it showed like the Statue of Liberty was all about showing like Spider-Man, but like that science lab was just showing Peter Parker.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like, hey man, I know how to fucking create things.
They're
Like I'm a
all
scientist.
nerds.
Yeah.
I just love the 10 minutes or like I don't know 5-10 minutes
And
of
then
just like
also-
Of calm.
and just enjoying the camaraderie between the three of them and just like
Them
the little
all being
nods
so
to each of their
similar.
movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was genius on like the filmmaker's part of
So
like,
smart.
let's fucking hit them hard, and then give them some levity, give them like hope, you know?
And a little like calm down. It's like
Then
he's calling,
the nice little possible
Of Ned?
foreshadow of Ned
Yeah,
trying to kill Spider-Man.
yeah, I love
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Do you think it's gonna be something like
Hey man, like
man, are you gonna kill me?
Jacob Batalon, like the actor, has said like because he becomes the Hobgoblin in the comics, which is like a different version of the Green Goblin.
isn't
And Jacob Batalon has said like I'd love to do that. I think that'd be so much fun.
isn't there a version of Green Goblin that gets infected with the Venom symbiote?
Oh, I'm not sure.
I believe there is.
That'd be dope.
Um,
That'd be crazy.
but what I wanted to kind of like theorize is right. Ned doesn't remember who Peter Parker is.
No.
But Peter Parker remembers who Ned is.
Mhm.
Will Ned somehow become a villain and then seek to
kill Spider-Man.
kill Spider-Man? And then he's gonna have to deal with the whole.
That'd be emotionally hurtful, man. Like,
Especially with the post-credit scenes of like we were talking about.
And then he'll have to deal with the whole like, I don't want to hurt you.
Yeah.
You don't know who I am, but I know who you are, and we have too much history for me to be emotionally able to do something like
I think
this.
that'd be great. I think that'd be such a cool. Not anytime soon,
No,
but I want that
they-
down the road maybe.
I feel like just who Ned's character is now, he's a larger guy. And it's
He lost 110 pounds for
I
this
know,
movie.
I know.
That's
but
fantastic.
That is an impressive amount of weight.
that is super impressive. Still, his character is a larger
Yeah.
person.
He is also beside Zendaya and Tom Holland, who are both very fit. And
Yeah, that's true.
Yes. I still think it would be difficult to take him seriously as a villain. Just
well, they
Yeah.
also
Who his
painted him out
character
as
is.
such a goofy guy.
but
Things
he
change.
could do a very good job of being like the guy in the chair,
Yeah,
but
for
like
sure.
in an evil way.
Oh, that'd be dope. That'd be so cool.
Mhm.
I'd love that.
Like he's plotting, he's tracking where Spider-Man is.
Yeah.
He's figuring out.
He was like the Tinkerer for Vulture.
yeah.
Yeah.
He could be like the Tinker, and then like in their fight and everything, he's like, I know who you are, Peter Parker.
Oh shit.
And then like Peter hears Ned say that, and he's like, you know me, but you don't know me.
Yeah, we have something like do the handshake, please.
Mhm.
Let's go build the Lego Death Star. Some other things that I loved about the Statue of Liberty fight was I like the visuals of like Tobey Maguire getting like sanded up in the head.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I loved that. I was like, oh, that's terrifying.
That
like,
was
fuck,
genu-
get
that
over
was
there.
Yeah,
genuinely
like
terrifying.
he can't get out of
Yeah.
the top of the
Yeah,
Statue
that
of
was
Liberty.
that was scary. I was like, oh fuck.
I was like, Tobey Maguire right now.
I loved this is a weird little nod, but like I think it was purposeful. Lizard goes through the portal into the high school and starts fucking up the high school like laboratory. And he does that in The Amazing Spider-Man, like when he goes to the
Yes.
school and starts messing up everything.
That's with the Stan Lee cameo too.
Yeah. And I was just like, oh, this is kind of a cool throwback.
That's one of my favorite cameos of Stan Lee.
Me too.
With the,
Where he's,
with the
like,
whole
doing the
table,
music.
he's just doing his thing, and then like there's a whole table that comes flying at him.
Grabs it.
No, he
throws it
doesn't
back.
grab it. He like webs it. And pulls it back.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I remember that scene so vividly.
Me too.
For no reason.
Because it was just such a perfect, like, oh, this is cool. What else was cool about the Statue of Liberty fight?
Ned couldn't close a portal.
I did like that.
Couldn't close the portal.
That's when he also got the cape too.
MJ falling. Like, obviously,
saved.
I really wish they didn't show that in the trailer. But, like, I think they did because they wanted us to be prepared for that fucking awesome moment. Like, they wanted us to think of, like, wouldn't it be great if Andrew Garfield caught her? And I loved it because, like, you see Tom go for her. And I'm like, oh, shit, Tom's going to get her.
Like without hesitation.
Yeah, like, obviously.
Yeah.
And then the Green Goblin just snatches him out of the air. I'm like, oh, fuck. And then I'm like, and then you see Andrew Garfield be like, shit. And then goes to grab her.
Yeah.
And he does.
Yeah.
And he lands. And it's the perfect emotional moment. Like, everybody claps or whatever. And then Zendaya, or MJ goes, no, he goes, are you okay? And she's like, yeah. Are you okay?
And then he just starts like
he starts tearing up and he's like, yeah. Or whatever. Like,
It was so
he got
funny.
he got his little arc.
It's so funny how that worked out because like almost like they anticipated the applause in the theaters because they actually like paused before they started talking
They
for
did.
like 3 to
Lots
4
of
seconds.
people like Andrew Garfield. Lots of
and this is the thing I'm going to get to after we're done all this, but I have a theory about Andrew Garfield. Continuing.
okay.
But yeah, last thing I want to say about the fight is that I loved seeing just how fucking violent Tom Holland was
God,
against
man.
Green Goblin, like on the shield.
Yeah.
And he was just beating the fuck out of him, like to the point where I was like, oh my god, like kids love Spider-Man. They are showing Spider-Man in a very violent way here.
Yes.
And I was just like,
his opening move, he like does the spinning kick and dents the metal shield
I was just
where
like,
the
"Oh,
guy's head was.
my guy's going out for blood," you know.
He was trying to kill him.
Yeah,
For sure.
and I loved it. I didn't love Tobey Maguire's dumb face,
When
like
he's
fucking
that
grabbing the
glider.
glider.
Hysterical.
He
But-
could have grabbed the glider and then like, you could have a second of Tobey Maguire's face, but then add in the stab.
Yeah.
There was
It didn't have to
5,
be
6
Yeah.
seconds of me looking into Tobey
It went
Maguire's
back and forth
eyes.
one too
Yeah.
many times between Tom and Toby.
Yeah. But I loved Tom grabbing the glider, and I'm just being like, damn, he is about to fucking kill him. Like, I genuinely thought
Well, as soon as he grabbed it, I was like, wow, this is just like
Spider-Man 1.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's like, well, I've seen
History
this before.
repeats itself, you know?
And that's when Tobey Maguire jumps in and it's like, yeah, no, that makes sense.
I
And
liked-
Andrew got to save MJ.
Mhm.
Tobey Maguire gets to stop his past self from doing the same mistake.
Yeah, but he also gets to save Green Goblin this time instead of accidentally killing him.
It's like each one gets their little like victory moment.
Yeah, and it felt really good.
They
It
get
felt
to
really
right
good
their
seeing everybody
wrongs.
get cured. Like, especially like Doc Ock getting cured, and he's just like, Peter, my boy, like, how are you, or whatever. Like, you've grown up. And
The voice
Toby
is-
just says something like, I'm trying to do better, you know?
Yeah,
And I'm
something
like,
like that.
hell yeah, man. Oh, I forgot to mention earlier on the rooftop when the two Peters are talking to our Peter. It's confusing, right? But like, I loved Andrew Garfield's like thing where he's like, yeah, I lost my version of MJ too, and like, at one point I just stopped pulling my punches, man.
Yes.
Like I got rageful.
Yeah.
I was like, I want to see that. I want to see you angry and like pissed off and like taking it out on villains and like seeing like a vigilante version of
Yeah.
Spider-Man versus like friendly neighborhoods. Like, no, I beat the fuck out of people.
Well, that's the thing
Yeah.
that they don't really elaborate on is Spider-Man is fucking
Oh
strong.
my
Yeah.
god, man.
And whenever he punches someone, he's holding back so much.
Well, that was the thing we see in the shield thing where
Yeah.
he dents the shield. I'm like, oh shit,
But even then, I feel like he was still holding back then.
probably.
Because you remember in Civil War, he held up a whole fucking airport tunnel thing.
Did he?
Yeah, when Captain America throws the shield at the airport. for
Oh,
him,
you're right. I remember this.
and he holds up that entire thing.
Yep.
I feel like that's probably the weight of the shield
And also
that
that
he was
scene
fighting on.
that scene in Homecoming where like the building fucking collapses on him and he's like, "Get up, Spider-Man."
I love that scene. So
Oh,
much.
me
That's such a
too.
good scene.
Yeah, and then we get Green Goblin gets saved or like cured or whatever. We see Electro gets cured, but like that was kind of a dumb thing with like Doc Ock being like, "Yeah, these guys are mine." Yeah,
Psych.
I never fell for that. You know what I mean?
No.
But seeing everybody get cured, especially Green Goblin, because like he looks over and he sees that he stabbed his Peter Parker. He's like, "What did I do?" And like he's back to that scared old man.
He switches up so
So
well.
good, because like his other alter ego is just so conniving and so like, nah.
So subtle.
Yeah.
Until it needs to be expressed.
Yeah, until it, yeah.
Because like the entire time that they were like working on the fixes and everything, we don't know now. Now we don't know which one that was.
Yeah.
So why he's such a good actor. There's
So
so much
good.
good acting performances in this movie.
And I wish we
in
could see
general.
more of them. But like
Yeah.
I think this was enough. You know?
It ended on a good note.
Yeah.
It's like when you eat too many sour Skittles, it starts to hurt.
Yeah.
But when you eat just enough, you're
Why
like,
are
this
you
is
calling me
unreal.
out like this?
I'm just sad I didn't get sour Skittles that they ran out at the movie theater. Is all.
I'm really
This
sorry.
fucking guy, I had the bag of sour Skittles sitting on my lap.
Yeah.
My right cup holder is open. He puts his Skittles in the cup holder. I'm saying, okay, no, whatever. Reaches over, grabs my Skittles, puts them in the same cup holder. He's got regular Skittles. I got sour Skittles. Before that, he asked me, like, hey, can I have some of those? And I was like, fuck no.
Fun fact.
Well, fuck you.
Fun fact, I didn't take a single one of your sour Skittles.
Hey,
I
good
wasn't
guy, Brad.
sure if you did or
I
Good guy,
honestly
Brad.
didn't. I actually reached in the bag once and you looked at me. I was like, oh shit, my bad.
because you put them both in, and then like my bag was open slightly more, so I was thinking this guy's just gonna like reach over and just be plucking Skittles out of my bag.
motherfucker.
So as soon as you did that, I immediately went over, closed my bag, opened your bag up more, just stared you dead in the eyes, and kept watching the movie.
You're like swapping the like sours for the skit like regular, just like swapping bags.
No, never took a sour Skittle on my mom. Never took a sour Skittle.
Good for you.
Thanks.
I'm proud of you.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, and then we get that heartbreaking scene, you know, and great acting from Benedict Cumberbatch too, where he was like, "Kid, like all the people you've ever loved who love you, we are going to forget about you." And he says "we," but he doesn't say like "they." I was just like, "Oh man, Doctor Strange, come on, man."
Heartfelt there, Doctor Strange.
Very heartfelt. And like when Peter suggests that, I'm like, no. Like I was like, it makes sense, but like, come on.
He really
There's gotta be
sacrificed
another way.
so much.
One thing I didn't like was how childish Peter was with the whole spell in the beginning.
Me too.
Because he kept coming back, well.
Yeah,
and,
no,
like,
me
Strange
too.
was very strict, like, stop fucking with
However,
the
Strange
spell.
probably could have talked him through it. Probably could have, like, before he did the spell, he was like, hey man, here's what's gonna happen.
He did after, like, the first one. He's like, listen.
I liked how Strange was very much like, all right, fine. Like, I'll add that in.
Yeah.
But then Peter's like, well. Yeah.
Like, he
No, me
kept
too.
he kept reaching. He kept reaching.
Yeah, he asked for too much.
But
He kept-
I was like, at one point, he was like, Happy really should know too. I'm like, does Happy really need to
Does
know,
Happy
buddy?
need to know?
You know?
Doctor Strange always is like an experimental type guy, though.
Yeah, he's very arrogant and just like, well, and also like
He's cocky.
he doesn't know how to deal with the kid, and this is still a kid, you know, and he's just like, fucking fine, shut up, please, just be quiet, let me
Yeah.
do this, you know.
Well, and Doctor Strange always felt like he was kind of demeaning to Peter, like especially when he was trying to get that cube back. It always felt like he wasn't like doing the most that he could have done.
I was thinking that because like I was watching, I was like, there's no way Peter is just like holding onto the cube by pure strength. Like this is a wizard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like as soon as Peter broke out of the
Mirror
what's-
dimension.
what's Doctor Strange's house called?
Sanctum Sanctorum.
Sanctum Sanctorum. That's the one. And it felt like Doctor Strange was just kind of using like cheap tricks to dupe him.
Yeah.
And then he like punches him out of his own body.
We
and
didn't
then
really
can't
talk
grab
about like
him.
What was
the
about
mirror
the-
dimension fight.
It was a really good fight.
It was really
I liked
good,
it.
but I think it kind of just happened.
Yeah.
It had
You know what I
another
mean?
cop out, I feel.
It felt like a very much like we have to get Doctor Strange out of play.
Well, and like Peter just immediately recognizes the geometry of the mirror
Hey
dimension.
man, math is fun.
And then just does all the math in his head, starts webbing random shit, and
math
then
is
like
cool.
at the perfect time, everything spins and it captures Doctor
That
Strange.
was kind of cool.
And I'm just like, that's cool. You're still in high school.
Yeah.
You don't know geometry like that.
You don't know mirror dimension geometry.
Granted, he works with Tony Stark and he's trying to get into MIT, so I'm sure he's extremely smart.
there was also-
Still,
The point when he punched him out of his physical body.
Yeah.
yes.
And he was like moving around and like talking. He's like, why no one has ever done this? What's going on
You
here?
shouldn't be able to do this.
Well, people can do that. Like you can move around and talk.
yes,
But like you
'cause-
shouldn't still be able to move in your physical body, and that was like the spider sense.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Which is really cool.
The Peter tingle. Everybody had their Peter tingle.
Yeah.
tingle.
I think
You
that
guys
was
got
really
the tingle?
cool.
Yes, we got the tingle.
Yeah. Everybody with their respective tingles.
I don't want to brag or anything, but I have been on a team called the Avengers. Wow. Is that like a band?
So funny. the fucking pointing at each other meme. There was like
He's Peter.
the
We're all
spider,
Peter.
like the web blood or whatever. You know what I'm talking about? Like
Andrew Garfield telling him that Ned, like telling Ned about his best friend and like killing him and everything.
oh, it's Tobey Maguire.
Oh yeah, Tobey Maguire. Sorry, and then him like weirdly being around.
Yeah, he
Tom
like
Holland.
reboots the computer and then just walks away.
Freaking
So
Spider-Man.
funny.
We're all Spider-Man.
Yeah, Peter.
We're all Peter.
Peter.
I'm
Yeah,
Peter 1, you're Peter 2, you're Peter 3. Oh, I'm Peter 2.
we also get that scene at the end of the movie. Sorry, I'm just gonna move through the rest of the plot and then we can talk about some like where we think the MCU is gonna go from here.
For sure.
We get that scene at the funeral, or not the funeral, but like at the graveyard, where Happy comes up, and I'm like, God damn it, Jon Favreau for some reason just knows how to fucking hit me, because he's like, how'd you know her? I was like, ah. He's like, through Spider-Man. Me too. I'm like, ah. Which is weird though, because like, does he know? How does Happy know Aunt May if he doesn't know who Peter Parker is?
I think that's another nod to the fact that everybody knows Spider-Man, but they don't know Peter Parker.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So like Aunt May knew Peter Parker, and John Happy got to meet Aunt May because he also knows Spider-Man, but he doesn't know who Peter Parker. Okay,
Yeah.
this makes sense.
So if everybody, something I think is Tom Holland or Peter Parker will still be able to like contact Happy for any help or anything that he needs.
Yeah.
Because Happy will still know Spider-Man from working with
Yes.
Tony Stark.
Totally.
Mm-hmm.
So
That'll be cool. I'm okay with that.
Technically, Peter isn't all alone. He just hasn't gone out to communicate with Happy.
No, Peter is. Spider-Man is not.
Peter is alone. Spider-Man isn't.
Yeah.
But for Peter being both entities,
Totally.
he's not necessarily alone because at any point he could go to Happy, reveal himself.
He could. But he also realizes that everybody he reveals himself
more-
to
yeah.
is going to hurt. He's going to get hurt.
The more
Yeah.
people he reveals himself to, the more targets
Yeah.
people have.
So I think he's going to be alone for a while. Okay, so we finished that funeral scene. Everybody gets sent back home. It's really touching. There's that part where like Andrew's like, fucking Tom Holland goes up to the other Spider-Man and he's like, you know what, guys, I really appreciate it, whatever. Thank you so much or whatever. And Andrew Garfield's just like, bro, this is what we do. We help people. And he's just like, I love you guys. Gives him a hug.
Didn't say I love you.
Does he not? What'd he say?
Thank you so much or something.
You guys are the best or something.
guys are the
Yeah,
best.
whatever.
I think they only say that at the
Only
top
Andrew
of the
Garfield
That
says I love you.
I love you guys.
Uh,
But yeah, he like leaves them. And there's just that really funny part where like Andrew's holding Toby because he got stabbed or whatever, and Andrew's like, "You're in agonizing pain, aren't you?" He's like, "Yeah."
yeah.
It's okay, I've been stabbed before. Good.
Yeah. Yeah, and then we get the heartfelt or like heartbreaking fucking moment where they say goodbye to Ned and MJ, and MJ gets that like MJ says "I love you," and then Peter goes like starts to say it, and then MJ goes, "No, you tell me it when you find me again." And I'm just like, man.
What you went to do, I think, in the coffee shop scene.
Totally.
I didn't
Before
like
he
the
was
coffee
like-
shop scene.
Oh, I liked it.
Loved it. I'm not
I
gonna
liked it a
lie,
lot.
really
I liked
loved
the reveal of the Band-Aid. I loved like
it. There was
Peter
a lot of-
realizing like, oh fuck, like I can't do this.
There was a lot of like.
Not yet.
Yeah.
There was a lot of like communicating without words.
Yeah.
In that scene.
Totally.
For
And he's
sure.
just like,
and I was like,
my name is Peter Parker, and I like a coffee. You know,
As
like
someone who works in customer works with customers or something.
oh, that'd be weird.
If a customer,
I would think it's so weird. Yeah.
if I had my mind wiped and I didn't know this person that I had a deep connection with,
Sure.
and they know who I am, I'd have no clue who they are,
And I
and they
think-
come up and just say like, "Hey, can I get a coffee?"
Yep.
And then proceed to stare at me for 30 seconds, not saying anything.
However, if that customer was somebody you find attractive, because MJ totally finds Peter attractive.
I think
So I'd just be
everybody
like-
finds Tom Holland attractive.
Yeah.
He's a good looking dude.
You know what I mean?
Doesn't
It
matter.
would be weird.
I'm still not gonna.
I'm there with you, but I love the scene. I love the scene a
think-
lot.
But also, there's like a look on MJ's face of like weird, because she definitely recognizes like the recognition almost
Yeah.
in Tom Holland's face. Or, like,
Yeah,
Peter
she's
Parker.
reading him.
Like she's like, there's like some weird things going on here for a guy that I've never met before. Like,
she is recognizing that he knows something that she doesn't.
Yeah,
for sure.
And that's cool. I like that. I think that's really shows like how strong of actors, like everybody in that scene is.
So good.
Yeah,
just so good all the way around.
We get Peter gets his own apartment, and I loved that. I loved his shithole apartment, like
trash.
And like he puts the Lego like Palpatine on the table, and he puts the coffee on the table, and I'm just like, okay, this is nice. And he makes his new suit, and
Which is
I kind of
so
fucking love his new
good.
suit.
Nice.
Because like it's not Stark Tech anymore. This is just a suit that he made by himself that he is going to use as his new Spider-Man. Like, I am Spider-Man. Yeah. I am no longer Peter Parker, kind of. Even though he is going to go into MIT probably. Like, he got that book, like that.
Yeah, well, he
studying
pulls the
guide.
stuff out of his box.
Yeah, the study guide or whatever.
Guide
Yeah, and he's like, okay, I'm going to continue my life. Like, I gotta soldier on here, but like, yeah.
I liked. This is kind of like off topic of like the ending of the movie. I liked the progression we got to see of Flash, because he's gone from being the bully dickhead to now being the guy that's trying to like tail along everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, he even came to the coffee shop after he got accepted into MIT, like super excited and everything. Yeah. And then Ned absolutely tore him apart, saying, yeah, I felt like Ned was like lashing out at Flash.
I don't remember this. What are you talking about?
When they all got like their slips and they're just like, nope, didn't make it in. Make it in. And then Flash comes in super excited because he got into MIT. And he's like, what's up with you guys? And then Ned just goes, we didn't get in because we're actually friends with Spider-Man.
Oh. Yeah.
And
Flash is a fucking friend.
I know.
Yeah.
But still.
Yeah. Ned's pretty pissed off.
Right.
No, not pissed off, but upset.
Yeah.
Now that I thought about it, Peter Parker doesn't have to hold out his deal with Flash.
That's true.
Yeah, he doesn't have to take him to work or
swing him to school for a month or whatever the fuck.
Call him his friend.
No, Randy, you said you had a theory about the whole Venom.
Yeah, okay.
So I really want to hear this.
Yeah, we get that post-credit scene where Venom is like, I'm in Mexico. I'm going to go back to my world.
Go back to my world.
Okay, so he goes back to his multiverse, or like his universe, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think this would kind of be cool. I think we, from now on, might get 2 different Spider-Mans. I think we get Andrew Garfield dealing with things like Morbius and things like Venom, like the shit, like the Sony universe, to differentiate the two. We get Spider-Man like Tom Holland still dealing with threats in the MCU proper, but then we get multiverse Andrew Garfield, because I think Andrew Garfield really made a great impression in this movie.
Oh, for sure.
That like is going to get people to be like, we need Andrew Garfield back, and I think they're going to with like Sony villains that aren't good, like
lesser
villains, to be honest. Like, you get your Morbius and you get your Venom. Like, I think that'd be really cool. I think it'd be cool if, like, let's give Tom Holland a break. He's been acting straight for the last 6 to 8 years.
Yeah,
he's been working hard. Like, give him a break. Let Andrew Garfield kind of like redeem himself even more.
He did such a good job in this movie that I could definitely see them doing. I don't think they could do a show.
No, I think you keep it movies.
I feel like Spider-Man, it kind of has that high quality that it has to maintain to be good.
Totally.
You can't skip on anything, on any CG or anything.
No, you can't skip on Spider-Man.
No, you can't. So getting other movies would be cool. However, running 2 of the same characters at the same time would get confusing. I feel like if they were to do it, they would have to intertwine a lot,
which might feel gimmicky, if you ask me.
I don't think it would be
if they start
too
to like,
gimmicky.
oh, I'm coming to your universe to help you out, I'd be like, well, I don't know if I like that.
I don't think we're gonna get that for a while. Multiverse is breaking open.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing. Multiverse is breaking open, so you could definitely see characters crossing over. Like, say Andrew Garfield deals with this guy, but then multiverse shit happens. The guy disappears straight from Andrew Garfield's vision, and then we don't see him for the rest of it. And it could be like a secondary character. Yeah. And then pops up in the MCU movies, and then in the big final MCU fight that's inevitably going to happen with the whole multiverse crashing down in on itself. Yeah. Andrew Garfield will come back.
I think that'd be cool. I think that'd be really dope.
I think it would be really cool.
I'm just worried, like, you're in like Spider-Man movie, and then it's like Andrew Garfield saves the day from coming from a dimensional portal. I'd be like, shut the fuck up.
That would be. I understand if some people would be like, that's exhausting. Like, I have to watch so many movies to keep up with what's going on.
But that'd be so many movies just for Spider-Man.
Yeah. But at the same time, like, as someone who has the time and gets really excited for these movies, anything you add is supplementary, and anything supplementary builds hype hard.
For sure.
And I think it'd be really cool.
Well, and the nice thing about Spider-Man is it's owned by Sony, that they lend out to Marvel.
Yeah.
Sony can definitely shoulder a lot of the weight to produce the Andrew Garfield Spider movies.
Totally.
For sure.
And they can still... Sony and Disney, I'm so happy with how well they've been meshing for Spider-Man.
Yeah.
It's been working out beautifully to one of the best movies in the MCU right now.
Yep.
I'd say it's pretty up there.
Yep.
Yeah. So I wouldn't have a doubt in my mind that they would increase the amount of production time because they would be splitting it between 2 Spider-Man movies. But then they can also just kind of like ping pong off each other.
Yeah.
They can throw ideas off each one, like, oh, do you
Collaboration.
do you guys want to use this for Tom Holland, or do you guys want to use this for Andrew Garfield? Like, which characters do we want to put in which multiverse?
I think the creative teams behind both, especially with Kevin Feige, like, he doesn't miss. Like, he knows what he wants to use and, like, will do what it takes. Like, this was probably such a vision for, like, Kevin Feige, for Amy Pascal on the Sony side. Like, they probably really wanted this to happen.
Oh, yeah.
And
this
they
is not
pitched
something...
it to the right people, and they gave the right pitch.
Yeah. It's such an elaborate idea of bringing back old characters. And it's at a perfect time in the MCU when they have the option to do multiverse stuff.
Totally. And it's such a celebration. Like, it's such a celebration of filmmaking over the last 20 years.
They had to pitch it to the right people. They had to pitch it at the right time.
Yep.
They had to get the actors to come back.
Yeah.
No, this is like a butterfly effect movie to happen type of deal.
It is. It is a perfect storm.
Honestly.
Really is. Yeah, that was just my theory, is that, like, I think that'd be cool. I'm not a fan of the Amazing Spider-Man movies, but I like Andrew Garfield. I think he was just in bad movies. Like, they weren't, like, especially Amazing Spider-Man 2. But, like, yeah, I don't blame him. I just blame the fact that they weren't directed very well and they had really shitty stories.
It didn't have the groundwork that the MCU does now.
Yeah, totally.
And I think you could even feel through the actors like how excited everyone was to work together. Like, everyone collabed so well during the movie. It all felt so natural. And I think that comes from the fact of, like, just a good director and a good cast coming together to make the movie.
Oh my god, I am so excited because, like, John Watts, who directed all 3 of these Spider-Man movies, is going to be directing Fantastic Four. That's his next Marvel project. I am so excited. Fantastic Four and Spider-Man are typically, like, a connected thing. Like, basically, Spider-Man typically teams up with Fantastic Four and Daredevil. And we've already got the Daredevil tease. We're just waiting on the Fantastic Four to show up.
Spider-Man also teams up with Deadpool.
Oh, he does. Oh, that'd be cool, too.
While Deadpool more harasses Spider-Man.
Do we get Deadpool in the Multiverse of Madness?
It's the perfect place for him because he has the time-traveling machine now, right?
Oh, yeah, he does. I forgot about that.
So he's got time travel.
Yep.
I wouldn't be surprised if he's got some sort of multiverse
type thing,
traveling thing. I know he gets something from, I think it's Night Stalker, the X-Men guy.
Okay. Oh, the guy that can teleport?
Bam.
Nightcrawler.
Nightcrawler, that's the one. I think he gets something from that in the comic books.
Okay.
He basically marries Death in the comic books, even though he has his whole relationship that he's currently pursuing in Deadpool. But, like, Deadpool can be anywhere.
Yeah.
Deadpool's such a good character to literally put anywhere.
I think it'll be great. I think whatever they do.
I always want Deadpool to be like the new Stan Lee, where he just shows up, does his thing. He doesn't even have to be Deadpool. He could be just this huge, like, insanely scarred up guy that's, like, sunbathing on a beach while the beach is getting absolutely torn up.
Yeah.
I really wouldn't even be mad to see, like, little nods to Deadpool like that in the way they almost do Stan Lee. It's like, it's not like, obviously I don't want to replace Stan Lee.
No.
But, like, in the fact that it's like Deadpool's just like because he's just never gives a fuck. Like, just in the middle of like a wild action scene, he's just like, all right, I guess I should go.
Deadpool is one of the only comic book characters that knows that he's a comic book character.
Yeah.
In comic books, Deadpool has killed the entirety of the MCU.
Mm-hmm. We're not getting that anytime soon.
No,
it'd be
obviously not.
Deadpool is such an overpowered.
He is.
It's mental.
I think another strength of this movie, like Spider-Man No Way Home, is just like it has made me so reinvigorated in the MCU.
Oh yeah.
Like, because to be honest, this year hasn't been fantastic for MCU movies.
Mm-hmm.
It's been really good for shows.
Really
like
good,
we're
yeah.
seeing, like WandaVision was fantastic at the beginning of this year.
Loki
was so good.
Loki was like the cornerstone of what set off.
Totally. And like we still
whole
haven't seen all the
multiverse thing.
repercussions of Loki yet.
No.
Fucking Falcon and Winter Soldier told a really good story.
Set up good characters.
Totally. And right now we're in Hawkeye, and Hawkeye is getting really interesting. Like, it's getting really, really good, and we got the final episode coming on Wednesday. So I'm really excited for that. Obviously, this will air after that, but whatever. But, like, Black Widow really didn't do much for me, other than, like, introduce me to Yelena, who I really like. Mm-hmm. She's a great character. What was the second movie that came out this year? Yeah, so many buckets. What's this? Oh, sorry. Shang-Chi came out, and I was like, this was fun. Mm-hmm. But it didn't really get me excited for the Marvel movies.
One thing that I'm now just thinking of with the new Spider-Man movie, it doesn't really put Spider-Man into any team.
No.
Like, you have Shang-Chi where Wong came and grabbed Sean.
And then showed it to Hulk and Captain Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Brought them back.
Mm-hmm.
Black Widow had Yelena and American Agent.
No, that was Falcon and Winter Soldier.
But,
sorry. Yeah.
like,
The lady that gathers people.
Their little group.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, you have these two teams forming, but Spider-Man's still just doing his own thing.
You're just vibing, bro.
I think I like that. I think Spider-Man, Tom Holland especially, is probably just gonna relax for a while and just be like, I'm gonna be a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, and because that's the only thing I can do right now.
He's still a child.
Yeah.
And those are adult manners.
Yeah.
He's a baby.
Totally. Yeah, Shang-Chi didn't really do much for me to get me hyped. Like, cool post-credit, I guess, but...
The post-credit, I like the post-credit.
Yeah, me too. It's just, but at the same time, I was just like, eh. Like, this didn't hype me up yet.
No, but...
Eternals was real good, but it didn't hype me up. Because I was like, when are we ever going to see these characters again?
I feel like they're going to have to mention the whole robot thing in the ocean that turned to salt.
The Sentinels.
Or quartz or some shit.
Are they Sentinels?
Sentinels?
No, what the fuck are they called? Shit. Ego is one of them.
Yeah.
I
can
can't
see
remember.
Brains working right now.
The big titans.
Whatever.
Sure.
They're going to have to mention that because that thing is massive.
It's pretty big. Brad didn't see Eternals, I don't think.
Nope, I need to watch Eternals.
You do need to watch
It's pretty
it.
good. I really, really liked it.
Within the school year, I just haven't been keeping up on Marvel at all.
We'll start
Which I
inviting you
really
into more.
I
It's also really tough to get all of us off work.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Well,
Off work,
I think
at a school.
Yeah.
I kind of tapped out after like the whole Endgame and everything like that.
I think a lot of people
Took a
did.
break.
But
For
like
a little bit, but I should get
It's been subtle on its...
re-entry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Especially
as it should be. That was a really big bang to go right back in full force.
I mean, that's when the pandemic hit. Like,
Yeah.
we didn't get Marvel movies for a year.
That's true.
No.
Yeah, but No Way Home has me very excited for what could happen. It has me super excited for the future of Spider-Man. Hypes me up for Daredevil, and excites me for the possibility of more like Spider-Man movies that aren't Tom Holland. Even though I still want more Tom Holland, I think that is an achievement. If the fact that they made me excited for Andrew Garfield, who was part of the worst Spider-Man movies I've seen.
I can't see Tobey Maguire going back into Spider-Man movies.
I don't think so.
His character just seemed
Tired.
fulfilled.
Yeah, totally.
It didn't seem like he had anything that he needed to really solve. Meanwhile, Andrew Garfield, he had like, what am I thinking of? Not anxiety.
PTSD?
Not PTSD. Self-confidence issues.
Yeah, okay.
And
You're amazing.
You are
Say it with me.
You're amazing.
And even then, he still seemed like he had
Yeah.
some confidence issues with
Yeah.
that.
And he's like the whole "I love you guys" or whatever. Like he's looking for connection. Yeah.
He got his little finale arc, saving MJ.
Yeah.
But there's still little tidbits.
Yeah, there's the whole rageful thing. There's the whole like I stopped pulling my punches. You know.
Yeah, like picking up after him, like turning into a vigilante wouldn't be a bad movie. I don't think. Like watching like the post after he comes back, like his switch back into being the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man after like kind of his full fulfilling thing would be kind of cool to see.
It seems like he has the appropriate amount of like issues.
Yeah, and issues
that could be resolved.
That can be resolved.
Yeah, totally. I like it. Yeah, Spider-Man: No Way Home, I think, is an achievement. Is my second favorite Marvel movie.
Up there.
And it's my second favorite Spider-Man movie. And yeah.
Wait a minute. What do you mean it's your second favorite Spider-Man movie?
No, I'm not sure if you've heard of this movie called Into the Spider-Verse.
Number
one, baby.
Number
one, baby.
Technically not in the MCU.
No, but however, like, it's a Spider-Man movie.
Jamie Foxx did say, "Man, I just wish you were black. I was
loved
hoping
it.
For a black Spider-Man."
Loved it. Hey man, you save people and you're from Brooklyn or whatever.
You're
like
working at
Queens,
Kitchen.
isn't it?
you're
He's
Queens.
from Queens.
Yeah, sorry, you're from Queens. Like
you save poor people.
You're scrawny. Like I really thought you were gonna be black.
I was really hoping you were gonna be black.
Tommy or Andrew.
Maybe in a different universe, there's black Spider-Man.
Yeah. But like he's like, I was really hoping you'd be black. And Andrew's like, I'm sorry, man.
It's so like, genuine too. Eh?
You know what
I'm
would be
really
really
sorry.
funny is if they got Jamie Foxx to be a character in the new Spider-Verse movie.
That'd be cool. Because that is like he is in Andrew's universe. So is the Lizard, but I don't think we're ever seeing that again.
It would be really cool to see him as one of the characters in that.
As this new Electro.
Yeah.
Not the old Electro where he's blue and shit.
No.
I hated that.
It's animated so they have all the creativity in the world.
Yeah.
But just give it to Jamie Foxx and have some sort of mention.
It'd be cool. I'm so excited. Like, yeah. And like I said, I'm just super excited. Like that trailer at the end of the movie, like for Multiverse of Madness, really hyped me up because that looks dope. Apparently there's going to be a fuck ton of cameos in that movie that we don't know about. Is what I'm hearing. I'm hearing that it's very like, I don't know any of them, but somebody was just like, there are going to be cameos galore and it's going to be dope.
Is that next year?
Yeah. That'll be the first MCU movie next year. But it won't be coming until like March or April.
That's fine. That's not far away. That is not far away.
Sorry,
That's
no.
not far away at all.
April, May.
Still not
That's
far away.
not far away.
4 or 5 months.
That's not far away.
Yeah.
We waited longer for Black Widow.
That's fair. We waited a long time for Black Widow. Yeah, I think any closing thoughts on this fantastic movie, guys?
Just amazing.
You're amazing.
I think it's a huge achievement for the directors and the actors to put out a movie like this that fulfills so many different timelines in, frankly, a short runtime for what it did.
Yeah.
And a nice little package of 2.5 hours, which isn't little for a movie, but for everything they did, it's impressive and it's a great movie. Totally. And obviously you've watched it if you're listening to this, so
hopefully.
I would
if you're at this point, you better have watched it.
Don't even watch it. We've already explained the movie to you.
Yeah.
I want to see more Wong.
I can't wait to see more Wong.
I don't know what it is about him.
I love Wong's attitude of just like, it's not my fucking problem. I'm out of here.
It's not my problem. He's the most parent-like person out of everybody currently in the MCU right now.
Totally.
Like he was a
but
parent.
he also shirks responsibility.
He was a parent to fucking Steven. He was like, Steven, don't use that spell.
Yeah.
And then just leaves.
Actually, it's weird because like in the trailer, he very much is like, don't use that spell. And then Doctor Strange's like, fine, I won't.
Fine.
But then in the movie, it's just like, just leave me out of it. Like he doesn't say don't use that spell.
Yeah,
He's
because
just
Steven says, oh, do you remember the party of blah, 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 blah?
Yeah.
No.
Exactly.
Or what does he say after he casts a spell? It's like, second worst case scenario, the world ends. First case scenario, Wong finds out.
Yeah.
Make sure he doesn't find out.
Yeah.
Wong is just like the tired parent.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck, man, make your own pancakes.
Man, I could fucking talk about this movie for like 2 hours.
Yeah,
It's such a good movie.
I want to see more Wong because we got to see Wong in Shang-Chi.
Yep.
Him fighting Abomination.
Yep.
And
Which is
then
weird because he's Sorcerer Supreme and he's spending his time fucking fighting Abomination for some reason.
Gotta make money.
I guess.
He gonna make the cash.
Oh yeah, because Infinity War, he was like, I have 4 rubles or whatever.
4 rubles.
Yeah.
Oh, fine, I'll pay.
Yeah.
And then he also pulls Shang through the portal. I can't remember the girl's name for the life of me.
Aquafina is the actress's name.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like the water bottle?
No, her name is Aquafina.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a character in BoJack Horseman.
No way.
and then we get to see
that
like
TV show up again.
Watch it if you haven't.
for half a second, I straight up thought that Wong was using like slave labor to clean up the.
That was a weird thing.
That was
That was a really
okay.
weird thing.
It's not just me.
Yeah,
Where I was just like, what is happening with these two
Are these people here willingly?
Yeah, do they
Just
want to
the
be here?
Weirdest random people.
Very
recording.
strange.
I could-
Doctor
you-
Strange.
You could put it off as like students.
Yeah.
You could.
They
Internship.
could have shown it a bit better though.
Yeah.
They
seemed-
didn't have time.
I know.
Yeah. But like,
Somebody left a portal.
I
open
hope
while
there's a
blizzard
fucking
blew
deleted
through.
scene where like Wong's like, "Hey you," grabs it from the street or like portals them in.
Takes them from like their training they're doing, like all their martial arts, and he's like, "Come here."
I guarantee
snow
that would be like
cleaned
some
up.
fucking IGN video where it's like, these two people were actually the comic book characters. You know, like,
Oh, I guarantee.
yeah.
There's something not. They didn't do it for no reason. Marvel doesn't do anything for no reason. There's probably something to do with it, but
I feel like this one though is very much like no
there's
reason.
no
though.
reason. Maybe they'll bring it up later and be like, "Yeah, trains people
Yeah, they
already,
come back.
so."
The next Thanos level threat.
Because like it would have been just
The
as easy.
shovel people.
It would have
Wong made me shovel for 3 hours.
It would have been just as easy to just not have them there,
Yeah.
Yeah,
and then people wouldn't ask questions.
Yeah.
But they put them in there.
yeah, and they knew people would ask questions.
I guess they put them in there to make it seem like Wong was aware of the problem and was fixing the problem.
in a very terrible way. There's no way. No,
He's the
It's magic,
sorcerer,
bro.
He's the sorcerer, and he's getting these people to use shovels and buckets.
some
I
super
don't know.
shitty shovels and like this little tiny 1 gallon bucket. They weren't even big. Like
I
they were
don't know.
small.
You're gonna fill that up in like
You could
1.5 scoops.
Dude, you could easily just take the bucket and scoop up the snow. Easier.
saying. He's a sorcerer supreme, and he's got
Some guys,
student labor.
Yeah.
people chilling.
I loved Daredevil's line at the beginning of the movie where like he catches the brick and he's like, "How did you do that?" He's like, "I'm a really good lawyer."
Really good lawyer.
Loved it. Do you want to vent your?
I didn't like that scene. I love Daredevil's character,
Mhm.
but that seemed like too short of a scene, and like people, Daredevil is obviously a TV show, but I feel like it's not popular enough for everybody to have heard about it or watched it.
Yeah.
So like they added him in there. He does this amazing feat
Yeah.
where he catches a brick without looking
Yeah.
through a window.
And he's blind.
Well, I feel like people won't even pick up on him being blind.
Well, he had
You
a
just-
walking stick and he had the rose tinted glasses.
You don't see him use the walking stick though.
Yeah, but
You
why
always-
would you have one?
You always see him sitting down. I didn't even notice that he had a walking stick at any point.
That was the first thing you see,
I didn't see it.
and that was what tipped me off to be like, "Oh, yeah."
I didn't see it. I just see him with these rose tinted glasses, which I know is Daredevil.
Yeah,
I always
you
pick
know
him up.
that information. A lot of people might not pick up on
Yeah,
that.
Yeah.
a lot of people aren't going to pick up on it. They're just going to be like, this is a gangster lawyer that's wearing 6 sunglasses, and he just catches a brick without looking.
Yeah.
They're going to have so many questions about that, and then they're going to have to look it up, and then they're going to see that as Daredevil, and then they're going to realize that there's this whole show, and he's a pre-established character,
Yeah.
and that they just kind of like plucked and put in because he's a lawyer.
Yeah. You and I have talked about this off mic. But like, I think it was a very good tease. I don't think / cameo, to be honest. I don't think it was a proper introduction.
No.
I think,
Wasn't, and that's what I'm upset with.
and I think that's what you're looking for, totally. But I don't think we're gonna get that introduction until we understand as the audience whether those MCU, like the Netflix shows, are actually like part of the MCU, or if they're gonna be rebooting the character. So because of that, and until they redefine who like Daredevil is, maybe, or if they keep the same Daredevil, they don't want to commit to too much. And I think that's the only reason why we barely got anything out of them. And also, this movie's packed with things.
Yeah,
No,
this movie
2.5
had a lot
hours
to get
of
through.
Content.
Yeah.
I just feel like they could have done something more subtle to give him a better introduction later.
Yeah, I get that.
Like they could have had a different lawyer from the Murdoch lawyer firm.
Foggy Nelson could have shown up, but like Foggy Nelson isn't really gonna pop. You know, like Daredevil pops.
But that's going to pop for the people that have watched Daredevil.
Fair.
It's going to be just as symbolic, just as interesting, and
It
not
signifies
gonna,
the same thing.
and it's not going to carry as many unanswered questions as somebody who
people who
doesn't know
didn't see
anything
it
about
yet.
Daredevil. It's just going to be a lawyer, and it's going to be another thing that you're going to see on a video saying, "Here's a fun fact that
Yeah.
you might have missed,"
Yeah.
and it's going to be like, "That's cool."
That's fair. I will disagree. Just in general, I think you've made a valid point. However, I think it was just an exciting thing, and you should have seen my fucking hand on my knee when I was just clenching my knee, being like, no fucking way.
That was the spoiler that I saw before going into the movie.
Yeah.
And I was really surprised that they brought it out so quickly.
Yeah, me too. But like, I was really glad that they got it out of the way before they fucking. We didn't even talk about the 3 teachers in the hallway. Oh my god, so funny.
Just go watch the movie.
Oh, please do.
I can't talk about everything. We can't.
Why not? Hannibal Buress being like, "Oh man, I heard you killed Mysterio." He's a conspiracy theorist. Don't worry. Don't listen to him. Anyway, the students put together this display for you, like this.
You spent hours on this.
I saw you do it.
Well, if you have time, in between classes.
Yeah, if you want to check it out or whatever. And Tom's like,
Walk
okay,
through
I'm
the
gonna
hall
go.
Or crawl in.
Yeah, feel free to walk. If you want to swing, you can do that too.
You can do that. Avoid
Crawl on the
traffic.
walls.
Yeah, you
Loved
war
it.
criminal.
Oh my god, so funny.
You murderer.
On that note, I think we should wrap this up. We've been going for an hour and a half. This is
my
our
goodness.
longest podcast we've done yet. But I think like I could talk for another hour about this movie.
Yeah,
There's
it's
so
crazy
much.
that there's so much content in a 2.5-hour movie that we could probably talk about it for 3 hours.
And the
we did.
implications
We talked
of it,
about
yeah.
it for an hour outside of the theater.
Yep. Yeah, we did.
We've talked about this movie for the runtime of the movie.
I've been talking
and we
about
haven't
it
even
with
touched
people
on
at
everything.
work basically all day.
Yeah, I can't stop talking about it,
It's
and
such a
I
good
can't
movie.
wait till I see this again. Like I'm probably gonna go to the theater and watch it again.
I wouldn't even. That's honestly a great idea.
Yeah.
I'd mangle a bag of popcorn right now. So
My mouth is too dry right now. I probably couldn't. Anyway.
Spill half of it on the floor.
Cool. Well, thank you very much for checking out yet another episode of the Junk Monkeys podcast. This should be the last one for the year. We'll come back stronger than ever. We're not going anywhere. 2022, baby. It's happening unless COVID shuts us down.
Year of the monkey.
All right.
I don't know if it is.
I wonder if it is.
I don't think it is.
That'd be cool if it was.
It would be.
that would be a sign.
It would be a sign that we need to quit.
It's over.
Yeah, thanks for checking us out. We are once again. Spotify just added. You can rate podcasts on there now.
Oh, that's sweet.
So like, if you want to just throw us like a 5-star rating, that would greatly be appreciated.
Only 5-star, nothing less.
What's the point of like?
I'm joking.
What's the point of throwing anything less than a 5-star? You know?
Just throw a 5-star so it like reaches other people. You're probably not going to see us pop up on your feed again.
Yeah, exactly. Also, if you're at this point in the podcast, like, you're probably dedicated enough to give us a 5-star review.
You probably know us in
geeking out
real
about
life.
movies.
Yeah, we appreciate you. Yeah, check out our Spotify, our YouTube channel. Tell your friends, you know. Twitter, where I think we're just at the Junk Monkeys. It's either Junk Monkeys or Absolute Junk Monkeys, but it's linked in the description of this podcast. Check out the Creation Nation Makerspace. They're doing some great stuff downtown Brandon.
Damn right.
Keep new businesses alive, man. That's all I'm saying. Go see Spider-Man again. I want this movie to do big money.
Mm-hmm.
Big money, no whammies.
I haven't heard any.
Huge money.
Has it?
It hasn't
Dude,
been
like-
out for a week yet.
Literally, like I think it was reported as the second best opening of all time,
I believe
with
it.
$400 million domestic.
I believe it.
0%.
Second to Endgame, of course, which was $473 million. Huge. But like we're still in a pandemic, man.
Yeah.
Like
That's impressive.
this movie did the second best of all time in a pandemic.
Yeah.
Crazy. Anyway, yeah, thanks for checking us out. Thank you again to Daniel Mosionier for fantastic music for the intro and the outro. Thank you for editing the podcast, Daniel Mosionier. You can check out his YouTube link in the description below, where he makes dope music there.
If we ever do like videos and everything, like we're gonna have rolling credits, and it's just gonna be Daniel Mosionier.
Yeah.
5 Daniels on it.
We have like a post-credit scene, but we have to get through all the credits of Dan.
Special thanks to Randy, Brad, Mike, and Noah.
For actually
We're not even
showing
the
up.
cast. It's just Dan. Yeah. Alrighty. Well, thanks so much, and we will talk to y'all later.
See ya.
See ya.
Bye.